What's up? This is Jamal Abbott. You are going to be tuning in to the video interview that I did with James Curbeam and Laila Lee of JLC Consulting. This is my first interview, and I'm really excited because they're going to be talking about risk management. So if you never heard of that term, or if you're looking to just learn something new here today, you're going to get a lot of value out of this interview. So enjoy, sit back, take some notes if you need to, and I'm really excited to share this interview with you. So here it goes. So we have special guests here today on the Jamal Abbott Show. We got James Curbeam and Laila Lee, and they've come here today to hang out and talk a little bit more about risk management. So we're just going to jump right in, and I don't know what risk management is, but before we even get to that point, I want to know a little bit more about you and you. So James, if you can just talk about just your background.
Okay. James Curbeam. I've been in risk management about 28 years. Moved to Vegas about 7 years ago to take a job at Las Vegas Sands Corporation. Prior to that, I was in Nebraska working for a public entity as their risk manager. The exciting thing about the Sands was the international exposure, so that really intrigued me. Right now, I'm currently the risk manager for the Las Vegas Valley Water District, and I'm also looking at forming a consulting company to do risk management for public entities and travel companies.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hi, my name is Laila Lee, and I'm a recent graduate from UNLV, majored in finance, and I actually took an insurance and risk management course and had the pleasure of meeting James Curbeam, and that's basically where I started my whole interest for risk management and insurance. It's an area where there's going to be a lot of job openings. Baby boomers are going to be going, and we need to learn from them and fill those positions. And I'm just really excited to learn more about the industry, and I'm really saying and a lot.
It's okay. Don't worry about
It's
it.
okay.
Just
The grammarian isn't here from Toastmasters.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's
It's all right.
It's all
Okay,
good.
now I'm noticing the and the so and the stuff.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Yeah. No worries. So with risk management, so I tried to Google this, and it kind of took me to a couple different places. So I understand the whole basic concept of risk, and the one thing that comes to mind with me with risk is like the game Risk, the board game. So that's probably as much.
That's not it.
Yeah, that's probably the extent of my knowledge of risk, other than.
I'll give you a simple definition.
Go ahead.
The purpose of a risk manager is to prevent unfortuitous things from happening. So you want to help a company reach its strategic goals by avoiding obstacles that can inhibit you from making those goals.
Okay.
So you want to put the strategies in place to make sure you can reach your goals.
Okay, so it's not just insurance, but this is actually like a strategic thing.
Well, insurance is a mechanism to transfer risk.
Okay.
Insurance doesn't prevent something from happening. So I'll give you an example. Just because you buy car insurance doesn't mean you're not going to have an accident. Taking a driver's safety class would be the risk management technique that will prevent the accident from happening.
Okay. That makes total sense now.
28 years.
Yeah, 28 years. 28 years. So you mentioned 28 years. Like, how did you find out about risk management? Like, because for me, like, that wasn't something that I saw on TV, like, risk managers and, other types of professions. It was more sports and entertainment. So I'm just curious how you fell into it.
For me, unfortunately, I wasn't qualified to do anything else out of college. I was kind of surprised. I was a finance major, and I thought I was going to be this big-time financial advisor, and the jobs just weren't there. So where I started out was in claims. A lot of risk managers start out in claims where you actually handle claims for either workers' compensation or auto liability companies. So you handle claims that happen, and that kind of teaches you about risk.
Okay.
But there aren't a lot of institutions that have risk management programs.
Okay.
So it's not an easy profession to get into.
But you took your course at UNLV, so maybe at this point in time, they have something that you can learn about risk management. Is that correct?
Yes, so it was just one class my senior year, and I wish that I would have known more about it because I would have maybe made it a minor and learned more so I could have more knowledge going into a company and just be able to speak intelligently about it. So it's not really big there yet, but James is trying to start a program there to help students and to get them propelled into jobs as soon as they graduate.
Awesome. So you guys were talking about jobs. So any forecasts that we can look forward to with people in the risk management field that you can think of off the top of your head?
When you say forecast, what do you mean?
So like projections, like how many people are forecast to be in this profession?
Oh, I can say that there is a large percentage of people looking to retire out of the industry in the next 5 to 7 years, like Laila was saying, with the baby boomers, getting older. I think I saw numbers between 40-50% of the people in the industry could be eligible to retire in the next 5 to 7 years.
Holy cow.
Right. So that's one of the things we're looking at doing as part of the RIMS chapter that we're a part of. I'm the president of the Nevada RIMS chapter. We're looking to reach out to rising risk professionals. And we did something at your Toastmasters group for them, where we're trying to get younger people more involved in risk management and give them exposure opportunities to different career paths in risk management, the industry itself.
Okay, got it. And if you're talking to a young person about risk management, what's one thing, or what's a couple things you're putting their way to get them interested, or at least thinking about risk management?
Well, we put some things on our website, www.nvrims.org, cheap plug. But we have a Rising Risk Professionals page where we want to put different job opportunities. There's claims, there's actuarial, there's underwriting, there's risk managers, risk analysts, risk coordinators. We want to put articles that shows how good of a profession it is from a work-life balance. You can travel depending on what companies you're working for. Networking opportunities are abundant. And I'll defer to Laila as a millennial why she finds the career interesting.
Awesome.
So I, like James, was a finance major, and I wanted to be this, investment banker, chartered financial analyst. Like, that was what I was thinking that I wanted to do. In my last semester, I took that risk and insurance class, and it totally changed my perspective. So the people that I met in the finance industry are not welcoming. They're not smiling at you, when you're introducing yourself. The people in the risk and insurance fields are amazing. Everyone wants to share their story with you. They want you to learn. They want to share their experience with you so you can understand that there's not just home and auto. That's not what it's about. There's so many more opportunities. And if you aren't a people person, there's something for you. You can work remote from home. You want to work for a big corporation, and that's always been one of your dreams. That's possible. So it's really just about letting people know the opportunities that are available to them. And I think that's just what really attracted me in the first place.
Awesome. So 28 years, and then you're just now getting into the field. Sorry here, I'm thinking here. What are we looking at as far as like entry-level salaries? I'm just curious. So if somebody come out of college, entry-level salary, and maybe they're processing claims, if I'm getting that correctly, what are they looking at?
Well, it depends on, what your experience is, what your background is. One of the things that we were talking about, like Laila had mentioned, is we had a meeting, we being the RIMS chapter with UNLV about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, to talk about trying to expand their risk management program. Because in Nevada, to handle workers' compensation claims, you have to be in the state, of Nevada to handle those claims. In other jurisdictions, you can handle claims from anywhere, but in Nevada, you have to live in the state. And like we said, there's a huge transition of people retiring, and we have new casinos being built, so there's going to be an opportunity for a lot of individuals to find jobs in workers' compensation. And based on the program we were trying to put into place, easily you could start out at $50,000 to $55,000 coming straight out of college if we put this program in place, because you would be qualified to start working right away. There wouldn't be the huge learning curve of training you how to do the job. My goal is to have that already ingrained in you once you graduate, and then the company is just teaching you their best practices versus trying to introduce you to the field itself.
Awesome.
So, but that's just one avenue.
And so inspiration for this program, was it because you didn't get the training growing up?
No, I think as you get older, you want to sort of leave a legacy. And this is sort of what I've tried to do as my tenure as the RIMS president. In our chapter, you're president for 2 years. So one of the big things I did last year was I pushed for us to partner with UNLV. We helped start a Rebel Insurance Club So students that were taking classes like Laila could participate in this club. But what we were finding is, since there's not a true risk management program, we were only getting students for a semester. So you really weren't gaining that traction that you would hope to in, 3 to 4 months. So then Laila was excited about risk management. So what we decided to form was a Rising Risk Professionals group where she's the chair. And we're trying to now transition from being a student in the club to this Rising Risk Professional group. And we're doing stuff like Toastmasters, where we took them to your Toastmasters group so they can understand the importance of public speaking. We had someone come to a dinner meeting we put on to talk about leadership. We had a networking event, and I'll let Laila kind of talk about what she wants to see in 2020 from the Rising Risk Professionals.
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so my goal for the Rising Risk Professionals for 2020 is to definitely do a lot more networking. And it's really about taking everyone, like a recent graduate, somebody still in school, somebody that's been in it for a year, and then experts that have been in it for 20 plus years, and getting them all together in a comfortable atmosphere so they can talk, see what did you do, where did you start, kind of thing. So you can talk to all these different people and see, hey, that kind of sounds boring. No, that actually sounds cool. Like, oh, private investigations, I'm going to do that for a company. You know, there's so many different things. You can be an entertainment insurance. You can do that provider. So, I mean, there's just so many different avenues. And so for 2020, I definitely want to get more networking, happy hours down, educational events as well. So we can have some speakers, some coffee and pastries, and get everybody awake and ready and excited. So I'm just really excited about it.
Awesome.
And I think one of the things that I've seen with my membership programs, like I said, I just started as president January of 19, so I'm president in 2020. But when I was on the board, I was director of membership. And it's hard to get more established people involved. People who've been in a job 10, 15 years aren't as interested in coming out and doing the networking events. They have real life that interferes with trying to network and learn and do different things, and they're kind of set in their ways, so to speak. So with the rising risk, it seems like there's more energy, more excitement. We have a couple people who have been to every event who I would have never thought would have stayed with it, but they almost see it as a passion like Laila does. And they're really excited about networking and learning and growing through this Rising Risk Professionals group.
Awesome. So you mentioned networking a couple different times, and it's funny for me, I didn't realize how important networking was, not until I got a little bit older, and then just kind of understanding that it's not about, what you know so much, about who you know. So Laila, could you talk a little bit more about how networking has impacted you personally, and then if somebody's graduating from college or looking to graduate here in the next couple of years, can you just talk about the importance of networking and why you need to do that as a young, rising professional?
Yes, definitely. So networking is the most important thing that you need to be doing in your college career. And I'm naturally an outgoing person, but being like a finance major, you kind of get more into the numbers and the spreadsheets, and then you could kind of go down that path of like, oh, I don't really need to do that. I'm just going to get a job doing, analyzing numbers for the rest of my life. But networking is the most important thing, because who you meet can be your next boss, your next business partner. You never know where that person can lead you. Even if you don't do any business with that person, you can learn something so valuable that will change your path in life. And I mean, anything you can get involved in while you're in college, even if it's a simple group like there's a finance club, there's clubs for everything, hospitality, the risk management club. This is all so important to do in your career, in your college career, because the one person that you meet your last semester can change your entire life. So awesome. It's 100% the number one thing. And then communication and listening, of course, all those things like fall into place. But networking, definitely, when your professors tell you to make a LinkedIn, start getting involved with people, start getting involved with things that you like to do, even if it's like volunteering, do good things in your community, and it will come back to you.
Awesome.
And I tell you, just to add about networking in my career and to translate it to personal life, if you are trying to buy auto insurance for yourself, networking isn't that important. You go online, you get a couple quotes, they ask you a couple things, they run your vehicle record, here's your quote. But when you're on the commercial side or the business side, a lot of the risks look the same. So if you have an insurance company, such like you would have with a personal auto, you have a business auto, a lot of the companies are going to these same insurance companies for insurance. A lot of their risk profiles look the same. Where the networking comes in is that underwriters can give certain deals to certain people. So if you have this personal relationship and they like you, they trust you, then you're going to get a better deal than someone who's just a proposal on a piece of paper.
Interesting.
So, like you said, it's not every time what you know. Sometimes it's who you know and how you network with them.
Awesome. And so the Rising Risk Professionals, that's a group that you can network at. Toastmasters International, obviously that's a place that you can network at. So yeah, definitely want to encourage everybody to do as much networking as you can. So, like Laila said, it'll change your life. So before we conclude this interview, want to know what you guys like to do for fun. So if we start with you, James.
I'll start with Laila. I have to think about what I do for fun.
Oh,
so.
come on. Come on. You seem like a fun guy. Come on now.
He's doing stuff 24/7, so I don't know. So for me, I really like being outdoors. I have 2 dogs. I like to take them out every single day, hiking, doing anything at Red Rock when the weather's nice. I mean, those and spending time with family, cooking, making sure the house is clean. Clean house, it's peaceful. What do they say? Cleanliness is next to godliness.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, can we please make that a thing again? Yeah, so pretty much just outdoor stuff and cooking and being with the family and dogs.
Right. Awesome.
Okay, I figured out what I like to do for fun. I like to start hobbies. I'm very good at deciding I want to do something and purchasing it.
Yeah.
And then moving on to the next thing. So my goal for 2020 is to stick with one of the hobbies that I've decided in the past that I'm going to do, whether it be photography, play the guitar, learn Spanish, and focus on one of those.
All right.
So stay tuned to our next interview, and I'll tell you what I'm doing for fun.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, well, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and pleasure getting to learn a little more about you guys, and then learning more about risk management. So it's not just insurance, but a whole strategic component to managing and running your business. All right, so I really appreciate you guys coming through to the Jamal Abbott Show. Could you just tell us a little bit more about how we can connect with you if folks are interested in learning more about risk management and where they can find you at online? Okay,
there's a couple places for me. I'm on LinkedIn, James Curbeam. You can look me up on LinkedIn. Also have a website, JLCconsulting.net, and you can look at information from risk management through our RIMS website, www.nbrims.org.
Awesome. And then you want to plug yours too, Laila?
Yes, so you can find me on LinkedIn, Laila Lee, look me up, Laila with an I, and also on JLC's consulting website as well.
Awesome. Thanks again.
Thank you.